A very warm welcome to Gerrit and Navin in our studio. Why did J.D. Power and Percipient decide to join forces on this channel optimization project?
Yeah, thanks, Inti. As you know, we are expanding the portfolio of our financial studies in the region. We've recently launched the Australia credit card study. Soon we're launching the Singapore credit card study. And in our discussions with the banks, we've come to learn, to understand that really the channel strategy is very important for the banks at this point in time. Banks are launching multiple channels, omni-channels. From the traditional branches and ATMs, we're branching out into multiple digital media to engage with the customer. However, what we do not clearly understand is, how does it translate into a positive customer experience? How do the various channels actually work in terms of the customer experience and customer satisfaction? So it's a big question mark. We know that digital banking allows for convenience, for personalization, and so forth, but we don't really understand yet the contribution to the customer experience. So in this regard, we've teamed up with Percipient, who is a startup in the fintech and data analytics space, to really bring our research expertise and the consulting expertise that we have in terms of working to performance improvement together with deep data analytics and experience in the financial sector.
Thank you, Gerrit. So Navin, would you like to share more?
Sure, Cinti, thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to get this opportunity to work with J.D. Power. And it's indeed critical how investments to various channels are now being directed for banks in the region. And it's now all about the customer more than it ever was before. And we're delighted that we can bring in the analytics expertise combined with our financial services domain expertise in the Asia-Pacific region to bring out a much more capable output for banks to work with.
Gerrit, you have mentioned that we have done some studies in the financial sector in other markets. So would you be able to share more about the key takeaways from maybe the mature markets like the US and also with an emerging market like perhaps China?
It's quite interesting because even as we're talking about omni-channel and digital channels and so forth, what both of the studies show us is that actually the branches, right, the physical presence for the banks are still extremely important. We saw that more than 3/4 of all customers in the United States actually still go to a branch to open an account. And if a customer has experienced some type of problem, still more than 1/3 of all customers will actually visit the branch to search for resolution of this particular problem. The other kind of alarming point is that our virtual customer, right, the customer who never comes to a branch, who is totally interacting online, has actually much lower loyalty and retention rates compared to the customer who is engaging, with the branch effectively. So that poses another challenge of this new brave world of omni-channel management. So when we look to China, compared to the US, we also find that the branches, the physical presence, is quite important. We saw in China that the Bank of Communication rated highest in customer satisfaction among the retail banks. But one of the main reasons for that was they're accessible for a very long time. They're reachable, right? Providing convenience to customers is one of the main drivers for their high performance in the study, right?
So Navin, what are your thoughts on this?
I think these are incredibly powerful insights. There is a lot of direction where branch sizes are shrinking, and that may not necessarily be the right direction, because what has happened is customers are now looking at using more channels. So has digital led to channel migration, or has it led to transaction migration, or has it led to new uses that people have begun doing with these digital channels? For example, I never used to look at my bank balance every day or my bank statement every day. But now that we have digital channels, I have begun making that as a use of that channel. And is that camouflaging the actual underlying behavior of the customer, which is still omni-channel? So I choose a particular channel for a particular type of transaction. I haven't migrated fully into any one channel at a point in time.
So how would bank benefit from this program?
Yeah. So in this channel optimization program, what we'll be doing is we're measuring the customer experience across all of the channels, and we do this in a competitive benchmark format. So basically, we'll capture the customer experience, with the branch, with the ATM, through web chat, through all of the digital channels that are there, to understand, how does Bank A, Bank B, Bank C, etc. perform, across all of these channels. And the output of that will give us, critical insight in terms of, what are the drivers of satisfaction for every particular channel. And furthermore, this will allow us to really prioritize for each specific bank, the focus areas, where should they focus their investment in terms of optimizing the overall, channel experience across the channels. And then, of course, there is an analytical piece that comes in from Percipient, which I think is extremely interesting. Maybe,
Yeah, thanks, Gerrit. And what we then do is take those insights and overlay that with the bank's customer data to look at customer level profitability and satisfaction, to look at demographics and satisfaction, to look at return on investment, which the bank needs to be focusing on when they're looking at making investments in specific channels.
Okay, so thank you very much, Gerrit and Navin, for your time in the studio.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Thank
All right.
you.
Yeah.